Today's practice is going to be focused on twists and thinking about integrating twists. So for those of you who are new to the chair yoga practice and the seated chair yoga, all you need is a chair, thusly. It doesn't even matter if it has a rounded back. It's okay if it has wheels. It's better to have it really stable and a simple chair. Get comfy in your chair. Maybe roll the ankles, roll the wrists a few times, just shrug the shoulders. And then getting settled. Just feel yourself arrive into your practice. Setting aside the events of the day. Setting aside anything outside of this present moment. Simply breathing in and breathing out. And going deep within the body with your awareness. Like at the level of the breath, the level of your organs and bones. Feeling every place where the breath expands and creates space. And as you release each breath, notice where you can soften, where you can settle. We'll take a few more rounds of breath, settling in and noticing what is. In your mind's eye, travel through the body, checking in, almost like taking inventory of the different muscles and joints. When you find pockets of tension, invite your exhale into those spaces to bring release. And notice where the mind goes and gently bring it back in to this moment, this breath, going deep within the body and checking in. Notice your level of energy and the quality of your energy. And without any judgment on your energy. Our Western life frequently encourages us to be high energy, but allowing ourselves to be as we are, make space for whatever our optimum is for us. Perhaps today, it's a day to lay low. Perhaps today it's a day of high energy. Neither one is better or worse. Take another few moments to check in. And then if you'd like, bring hand to heart, hand to belly. And take 3 big breaths, inhaling into both the hand at heart and the hand at belly. And exhaling, letting it go. Feel the shoulders soften, feel the muscles in the ribs soften, feel the breastbone soften. Take 2 more breaths. This time send the breath wide into the side ribs. And exhale, let that go. This next breath, bring the breath into the back body, to the back ribs, into the shoulder blades, into the back of the shoulder joints themselves. And as you exhale, feel those muscles and tissues soften and relax. Keeping hand at heart, hand at belly, tuck the chin, look down. Take 3 big breaths there. And the hand at heart, hand at belly are going to stay there for a few more shapes. In today's practice, we're going to be doing some integrated twists. And so these hands are going to be really listening deeply to what happens in the body when we twist. And so breathing in, gaze forward, and then draw the head and neck back in space. And then, so to begin, let me see how I want to say this. We can turn into a twist by just like turning our hips one way, shoulders the other. And that's not really an integrated twist. We're sort of using the muscles that are strongest to do what they always do. And the muscles that are wimpiest are just like, sure, I'll stay on holiday. But twists can start from the level of the vertebra, and our beautiful paraspinal muscles, our multifidus, all sorts of long muscles along the spine and deep within our core. So notice what happens at heart, hand at belly. If you imagine, we're just going to turn our head to the right. Imagine we're turning from the level of the heart. So imagine we're turning the spine at the level of the heart, begin to turn. Imagine those vertebrae at the level of the hand, the sternum, the collarbones. Notice what's happening through the shoulders as you turn and gaze. And it's a lot of work to get those deep, deep, deep muscles to fire, to turn on. And keep visualizing turning from the level of the spine. And then come back through center by gazing forward. And then just notice if anything shifts underneath the hands. Like definitely the skin shifts as we come into the twist, but it's deep within. Let's go to the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, draw the head back in space and press in a bit firmly. And then start by imagining right at the chest. Imagine those vertebrae turning, turning, turning. And how much control we really do have twisting from the deep center is pretty amazing. But it's a lot of work. It's much easier to just turn from those superficial muscles. Another couple breaths. And then slowly spin the gaze forward when you're ready. And then unwind. Let the hands relax, roll the shoulders out. And take a moment. When I do that deep integrated twisting work, I just notice that there's a shift right at my core, right behind my breastbone, my belly, upper abs, even into the shoulder blades. So it's a lot of work. We'll come forward in the chair, and it's important strengthening work because as we age, we tend to compress. And unless we're working on that strengthening and lengthening, we tend to compress, compress, compress. Then when we go to turn, we're just using the muscles that are already used to moving. And so just to notice, like we can just without thinking about it, turn to the right. And you just kind of notice it's kind of easy, it's a little bit loose, you feel a little bit lanky, and then turn to the left without thinking about it too much. And then we'll do one of those integrated twists. Come back through center. So we're going to root down through the feet. We're going to rise up through the crown of the head, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Bring hands to heart. And imagine pressing the back of the body forward and the front of the body back, but the breath stays really big. So we're getting axial extension. We're finding length from the get-go. Then we're going to turn almost from the belly. So imagine turning those vertebrae. Especially as you exhale, let those vertebrae spiral up into the twist. And then if you'd like, you can press the left shoulder blade forward and hug the right shoulder blade back. Make sure you can still breathe. And then come back through center. Start by spinning from the head down to your center. Let the hands relax and just notice, go within. Where are you feeling sensation? What's alive? What are you noticing? And then you can even do the second side without that rooting down to rise up. So and it's not the same. It's not as much work, but it's interesting to try it just for the difference. So instead of rooting down and rise up, we'll just go hands to heart and then rotate from the deep center and come in. So it's a little bit different, even though we're rotating from the deep inner body and rotating from the vertebra. It's just not as integrated. So come back through center, and I notice my hip flexors, when I'm going this way, are now activated. So come back through center, and we'll start again. So root down through the base of the big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, hands to heart. Roll the shoulders up, back, and a little down. Back body shifts forward, front body shifts back. And that gets you grounded. And from that groundedness, we can then turn from the inner body, spiraling in. And imagine from the vertebra, once you're at your twist, you might send the left shoulder blade hugging back, the right shoulder blade pressing forward. Maybe look over the shoulder. And then come back through center. And then relax. We'll do a few rounds of cat and cow to let go of all that. Fingers wrap from the sides of the knees. Lift the heart, scoop the tailbone back. Keep that light pressure down through the feet. Hollow out the belly. Elbows go wide to stretch through the shoulder blades. Breathing in, we're protracting the shoulder blades or retracting the shoulder blades. And exhale, we're protracting the shoulder blades, spreading the shoulder blades wide, pulling the shoulder blades together and spreading them wide just by moving the elbows and letting the ribs move as well. Feeling those rib attachments at the front body, at the breastbone, and rib attachments at the back body, at the vertebra. And then when you're ready, find stillness and check in. Let the hands rest. Allow the eyes to close or soften the gaze. And again, notice. Notice any shifts, any changes. Another breath in and a breath out. And then we'll begin to turn into a twist with the shoulders and hips a little bit more. So we're going to walk the feet a little bit to the left, keep the sitting bones pretty grounded, and the hips are going to move a little bit, move the shoulders to the right. and left hand comes across, right hand comes to the chair. And then we're going to root down, rise up, draw the waistline back, and then imagine rotating a little bit more from that deep inner body. So we get a lot more range of motion when we're not just twisting from the surface of the body and our superficial structures, but we're going within. One more big breath in and a big breath out. Inhaling, begin to unwind, facing forward. Let the arms unwind, the legs unwind, let the hands relax. Take a breath in, and then walk the legs any amount over to the other side. The hips twist a little bit, but then turn the shoulders. Keep the knees about hip distance. We're rooting down, rising up. Right hand comes across, left hand finds the chair. And then think anchoring through the feet, through the sitting bones. Find space in the side body, space through the vertebra, and then do that inner body rotation, like we're turning at the level of the spine. One more breath in and out. And then gaze forward. Let the shoulders come forward, hips come forward, legs come back to our starting place. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Then we'll do a little flow. So breathing in, sweep the hands out and up, spin from the center of the body, twist to the right, let the hands glide down. A big breath in, find length. And a big breath out, maybe twist a little bit deeper from the center. Sweep out and up. Breathing in and breathing out. Twist to the other side. Rotate from your center. Take a full breath in and let it go. One more time each side. Breathing in, sweep high. Rotate. Hands come down as you exhale. Stay for the in-breath. Find length. And with the out-breath, maybe find a deeper rotation. Inhale, sweep high, come back through center. Feel the sternum face forward, sacrum face forward, twist to the other side. Root down, rise up, twist a little bit more deeply. Come back through center, breathing in, find length. And breathing out, we'll cross forearms over thighs, root down, reach the heart forward. And then look down. Imagine dropping your forehead right down toward the space between your toes. Letting those neck muscles relax completely. Gently look left and right. And even here, as you look left and right, imagine spinning from those muscles hugging the vertebra rather than the more superficial muscles on the outside of the neck. So it's just a subtle difference. And then let the head hang to center one more time. Press through the feet, bring the palms to the thighs, and come on up. Nicely done. Roll the shoulders a few times. Excellent. Let the hands rest. We'll do a couple gentle neck stretches. And if you'd like, visualize those vertebrae coming into, like we're just going to do ear to shoulder, but imagine lengthening up, and even the vertebra right here are going to tip just a little bit to bring you up and over ear to shoulder. So if we took a X-ray, even these vertebrae here would be arcing over just a little bit. But if we just find our kind of our C6, C7 as our benders. That's the most wimpy part of our neck. It's the most pliable. It's not as healthy. So as you exhale, let the head tip forward. Even imagine those vertebrae at your center tipping forward. Breathing in, gaze forward. And so thinking about a whiplash accident is usually C6, C7. It's the most wimpy and mobile, hypermobile sometimes part of our neck. So draw the head and neck back in space and lengthen up. Just visualize. Sometimes visualizing is enough to initiate that ear to shoulder from deeper within. And then chin to chest. Inhale, gaze forward. And then just to check it out, reset, and then let your head tip over the way it normally does. It's just different. It's less supported. Chin to chest, back through center, and then ear to shoulder the other side. So sometimes it feels great to do it the way we always do it, which is just sort of let the head pop over, and then exhale, chin to chest. But doing it with that little integration can make a big difference. Inhale, gaze forward. All right, widen your stance a little bit. We'll go to our side angle pose, and we'll turn our side angle into a bit of a twist. So root down, we'll extend the left leg a little bit so it's a little asymmetrical. Right forearm to right thigh. We're going to use the left hand on the left ribs to just rotate, and just notice how it's kind of hard to do that on your own, but using the hand on the ribs, it's just a nice way to open, get grounded, and then fingertips to shoulder, bring the head back in line. Reach up if that feels okay. And then if you wanted a little something extra, you can bring the fingertips to the back of the head and press the head into the fingertips, and then spin from that inner body, look past your biceps. Make sure you're not gripping with your toes like I just was. And then breathing in, reach back up. That left hand is going to sweep down, and then right hand comes across. Lift from the center, coming into a twist. Sweeping out and up, bring that left foot in, extend the right, and then we'll go right to the other side. Left forearm to left thigh, right hand to right ribs, spin, almost leaning back in space, get heavy through the right sitting bone, unfurl the arm if that works for your shoulder. Think that same rooting down to rise up, that axial extension. So many times I see folks go right into that like big extended shape before going that rooting to rise energy. Fingertips to the back of the head if you want that little extra rotation. Look past your biceps. And then breathing in, turn the palm to face away, press down, cross over, spin from your center. And don't let the hand overpower the knee. Make sure your kneecap is still facing straight up there. Sweeping all the way out and up, bring that right foot back in. And then interlace the hands. Brace the forearms or the elbows on the thighs, reach forward with the crown of the head, forward fold, let the head go. And then if it feels okay, do that little integrated turning of the head to one side and then the other. Notice how you can feel turning the head in the breastbone, in the shoulder blades. Go to each side one more time, because we're moving those vertebrae between them. It's not just surface movement. And then gaze down, let the head hang, Going to drop your brain. If it feels good, you're welcome to come into a deeper forward fold, fingertips on the ground, or crawl the fingertips forward, making sure you have lots of weight balanced in your seat. And then when you're ready, walk the hands back in, place the elbows back on the legs, and then replace the elbows with the hands, press up. Walk the legs back in, tick-tock side to side. Shake it out a little bit. And then we'll sweep the hands out and up one more time, breathing in and then breathing out, hands to heart. Tuck the chin, look down. And then gaze forward, let the hands rest, and we'll come into final relaxation. All right, nicely done. I've been loving those integrated twists. This week, it's kind of been my focus. So getting cozy, sit back in your chair, wiggle around a little bit, find a comfortable way for the hands to be. And settling in. And again, scan the body from your deepest layers. Go within, it's the level of your bones, your organs, your deepest muscles and tissues. How deep inside the body are you aware of sensation? And as you go deep within, can you feel even more settled and grounded, connected to the earth, to stability? What I love about yoga is that everything we do in our practice has applications out in our lives, in our ways of being with people, with work, even with finance, with play. When we can really feel our foundation, tap into our strength, we're able to create more space in our lives and not move in those habitual ways. It's tapping into our inner strength, releasing those old patterns, habitual ways of doing things that aren't always helpful. So take a few more breaths here. And if you'd like, once again, bring hand to heart, hand to belly as a way to integrate not only these integrated twists into your body, but this way of being out there in the world where we can pause, get our feet underneath us, lengthen up through the crown of the head, realize our strength, our potential, and then find that dynamic movement to adjust to address situations, to work and play with greater ease, greater compassion. Take another breath in and out. And breathing in, we'll sweep the hands out and up one more time. Exhaling, hands to the center of kindness and empathy at the heart. And the light in me sees and honors the light and the divine in each of you. Have a beautiful day, yogis. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with each other. Everybody over on Insight Timer and on my teaching platform, and folks who signed up for the recording. Let me know, as always, if you have any questions.